What have you done? What have you done, NHL? The Penguins are still Stanley Cup champions. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hockey Happy Hour. We are live from the BMW of Atlantic City Studios here in Mount Ephraim, New Jersey. I'm Matt Sassuti along with the broken one, Rob Povia, and the Dark Wing, Brian Daly, who will definitely be flapping his duck's wings a little bit later on today, who is producing and hosting along with us. This is the Hockey Happy Hour on A2DRadio.com, brought to you by Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. All right. Well, gentlemen, the offseason is officially here. The draft has come and gone. The expansion draft has come and gone. Players have left all 30 teams, and a very sad departure for one of ours in Marc-Edouard Bellemare, who is no longer a Philadelphia Flyer. He is now a Las Vegas Golden Knight. Congratulations, Bellemare. You have achieved something in history. You are the first, one of the first ever Golden Knights. A team that might only last 5 seasons.
I don't know, based on the way they drafted in both the expansion draft as well as the overall NHL draft, they put together themselves a pretty nice team in terms of them picking Bellemare. No disrespect to him. He was a great guy, great presence on and off the ice. But I really feel it's an addition by subtraction because you're losing a great penalty killer in Bellemare, but you didn't lose Wheel, you didn't lose Raffle, and you didn't lose, of course, Scott Lawton, who was protected, so thus the addition.
Yeah, there was a few of those that were important for the Flyers to hold on to, which was a relief that they did take that said person. But either way, though, we'll talk about more of that a little bit later. But first, we're going to talk about the trade rumors and all of that. Because why? Because trade rumors are fun.
Oh, yeah.
And it is the ripe time for it because the free agency is just right around the corner. It will be Saturday. It'll officially get started. And the teams can scramble for the free agents that they want and what players they may assume could help their team in the future. We'll see how that pans out for you guys. But until the GMs start going there, let's talk about the trades that have gone down a little bit here. Get started a little bit because I do have the list of the trades that have happened here. In the
I thought it was
NHL.
a different list.
Oh, yes, I'm sure. Very important list. Because guess what? You know what happens when you assume that it's the list, Rob?
What's that?
You just made the list!
Oh, great.
All right, now, moving on. We get started with our trade that have gone down. The Washington Capitals kicking things off on June 14th. They acquired Tyler Grovak in a trade with the Minnesota Wild for a 5th-round pick. Nothing too significant there. June 15th, moving on. Montreal Canadiens acquired Jonathan Drouin in a conditional 6th-round pick in the 2018 draft in a trade with the Tampa Bay Lightning for a defenseman prospect, Mikhail Sergachev, and a conditional 2nd-round pick in the 2018 draft. Now, this is a very interesting deal as the Montreal Canadiens really not giving up anything and getting Jonathan Drouin. I mean, Tampa really wanted to get rid of him anyway because he had been nothing but trouble for them since day one. But I give Montreal credit. They pretty much just said, hey, we're not going to give you shit, but, we'll take Jonathan Drouin. Like, okay. I don't know why Tampa just so suddenly felt like, oh, please take Jonathan Drouin off our hands. We only didn't make the playoffs this past year. Seriously.
Well, I think Montreal gave up one of their top defensive prospects. I gotta look it up, but
sure. But again, that's a prospect. You gotta give up at least a little bit more for a player like Jonathan Drouin.
Well, I mean, it's like you said, the kid was a cancer in the locker room. He was a pest to the front office, and they wanted to get rid of him.
Very, very true. Now I will reference this trade a little bit later on because I know Montreal has been talking to the Philadelphia Flyers recently. The Canadian GM has been calling Mr. Ron Hextall, as you've been saying, Mr. Daly, trying to get Claude Giroux off of our hands, which would be crazy for the Flyers to do this deal without it being perfect because you have to have a perfect deal if you're going to get rid of your captain. But with that being said, I wanted to ask, Do you guys think that this might be a three-way trade where they take Jonathan Drouin away from Tampa Bay, whom Tampa Bay didn't want him anyway? They want Claude Giroux, and they send Jonathan Drouin, who's a potential cancer in the locker room, to Philadelphia in exchange for Claude Giroux, who's proven to be more of a leader than Jonathan Drouin could ever possibly be, probably?
No.
No? You don't think they're trying something like that? You don't think they're trying to play ha-ha like that?
No, not at
No?
all. As good as of a player as Jonathan Drouin is, he's not Claude Giroux.
Well, clearly.
Flyers are, I think right now at the point that the Flyers are at, yeah, it would kind of make sense to trade them, but I don't think they're going to. I don't think they need to.
No, I don't think they are either, but I was just wondering, do you think that that's what Montreal's trying to do here? Because it's weird that you would go get Jonathan Drouin and give up almost nothing, and then, just give him away. I mean, that would sound stupid in regard, but still, you could still get the player you want by having a more tempting player to throw out there.
Well, I mean,
packaging him with other players.
All right, so the deal was Jonathan Drouin going to Montreal for a conditional second-round pick in 2018.
And a defensive prospect.
A defensive prospect and a sixth-round pick, I believe, in 2018.
Yes, I do believe that is correct.
So, I mean, it's not exactly for nothing. The odds are that conditional second-round pick is going to turn into a first.
Possibly.
Now, as far as it being what you call a quote-unquote three-way deal, I don't think it's going to happen, not for Claude Giroux. And I don't think they would have signed him to such a long-term deal if they had any intention on trying to get rid of him, especially when Montreal needs scoring depth.
They do. They do need scoring depth.
Bingo bango. I think they got Drouin because they need him. Are you always trying to make an upgrade? Would Hexie entertain trade offers for Claude Giroux? Of course he would. I don't think there's a realistic chance in hell, though, that he is going to trade Giroux, despite whatever the fan base is saying, whatever the local media outlets other than us have been saying, which just really proves how much they're asinine jackasses. Like, you got to build around them, right? And that's the key cog here for Flyers and Giroux. But no, I think the Canadians, they like Giroux and they need a guy that's exciting, that can light the lamppost, and I think he's there to stay in Montreal. Hopefully he does wildly successful, because I'm a big fan of Jonathan Drouin.
He's a good player, don't get me wrong. He's very talented, great hands, he's got great scoring ability. But, I mean, come on, he's not the best locker room guy.
Well,
you wouldn't want him here.
The funny part is, though, that apparently they're not strangers to cancers in the locker room, because apparently that's why P.K. Subban was thrown out of Nashville. Albeit, I don't know if that's true or not, considering the fact that his team made the Stanley Cup Finals this year and Montreal didn't get out of the first round. So, I don't know about that.
Truth.
But anyway, with that deal being made, that's the first big significant trade that has been made, and we continue to move forward. Buffalo continued the trend on the 17th, along with several other teams making deals here. Buffalo acquired Nathan Beaulieu in a trade with the Montreal Canadiens for a third-round pick in the 2017 NHL Draft. Not a whole lot there. June 17th as well, Calgary acquired Mike Smith in a trade with Arizona for Chad Johnson and defensive prospect Brandon Hickey and a conditional third-round pick. Another big trade here. Calgary getting a solid goaltender that they absolutely need. And as for Arizona pretty much sending Mike Smith away, and they're just going to focus on young players at this point in time, because that's the reason why they got rid of him, was Mike Smith being a veteran.
Right.
I mean, the need for a goalie is big in Calgary. They haven't had a really good goalie since Mika Kiprasov.
Kiprasov, yeah. That's a while. That's been a while.
Good
yeah.
name drop, man.
I almost totally blanked on the name, too. I'll admit that.
Oh, come on. It was one of the greatest names in hockey for the longest time.
It was back here, and he pulled it back in.
I like to move for Calgary. Like I said, Calgary needed a goalie. They have a good young team, and Mike Smith needs to get out of Arizona.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Smith, he pretty much got them as far as they could go in the playoffs, which was the Western Conference Finals, where they got shelled by the Los Angeles Kings. But overall, though, Mike Smith, I mean, I think it's a good deal for Calgary. They needed him. desperately need him. And Mike Smith's a really good goalie. If he gets on one of those, I know from watching firsthand experience, if Mike Smith gets in a groove, you don't score on him. It's as simple as that. And he's a big guy, too, so he can cover the net so easily.
Very fiery, too. Reminds me of Hexy a little bit.
That's true. That is very, very true. They could use that in Calgary. They use that, and they can match up well. Because think about it. You get a fiery player in goal to match the rising star of Edmonton, to match the fiery piece of shit Milan Lucic and Zach Kassian, as you've pointed out. And there you go. You got tit for tat right there. Now Calgary isn't behind in anything.
Ah, quid pro quo.
Yes. Moving on, the New Jersey Devils, yes, those shitbags, acquired defenseman Mirko Mueller and the 2017 first-round pick in a trade with San Jose for a second-round and fourth-round pick in the 2017 draft. And moving on.
I kind of wish they would update them to let you know who they drafted, too.
Yeah, it
so
would be
you kind
nice.
of
Yeah.
sort of know who they, not only they took, but who they technically traded for.
Well, speaking of draft, it's now time for the Golden Knights, and let's see who they picked. You guys ready? This might be a little hurtful for some, but, oh, well, I don't care. So let's get ready. The Vegas Golden Knights going on. They wound up acquiring a 2017 sixth-round pick in a trade with the Buffalo Sabres for future considerations. As well, the Vegas Golden Knights acquired Riley Smith from the Florida Panthers. And they also...
How did I miss that one?
Yes, they did. They acquired Riley Smith.
Wow, that's a good move.
And moving on, they also acquired a 2017 fifth-round pick from the Carolina Hurricanes, previously acquired from the Boston Bruins for future considerations. And then the Knights also acquired forward Nikita Gusev, a 2017 second-round pick and a 2018 fourth-round pick from the Tampa Bay Lightning for future considerations. And also they acquired Mikhail Grabovski, defenseman Jake Bischoff, and a 2017 first-round pick and a 2019 second-round pick from the New York Islanders for future considerations. And they also acquired defenseman Shea Theodore from the Anaheim Ducks, along with future considerations.
Well, there was a meaning behind that trade, and I don't know if it's come out. Some probably know, some don't. The reason why Anaheim traded Shea Theodore was so that they can guarantee you, or guarantee them, that Vegas is going to take Clayton Stoner.
Yeah, I mean there was that handshake agreement. There was a lot of debates and going on with that, where they were going to pick this guy because they were trying to avoid this guy being taken or what have you. A lot of GMs had made deals like that to avoid certain players getting picked. Moving on, the Knights also acquired forward Alex Tuch from the Minnesota Wild for a third-round pick in either 2017 or 2018. The Knights also acquired David Clarkson and a 2017 first-round pick and 2019 second-round pick from the Columbus Blue Jackets, also for future considerations. I didn't even know David Clarkson was still playing, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, he's
what
on
a scumbag.
He's on the LTIR or whatever, long-term injury reserve.
Yeah, and he's a piece of shit, too. But anyway.
You think this is to raise him from the cap floor type of move?
I think that probably would be the case for the Columbus Blue Jackets on that one. That was a smart move on their part. Knights also acquired 2017 first-round pick and 2019 third-round pick from the Winnipeg Jets for the Columbus Blue Jackets 2017 first-round pick. So trading picks all around here. The Knights also acquired a 2020 second-round pick from the Pittsburgh Penguins for future considerations. And that does it for the Golden Knights, who pulled in a pretty good haul of picks to avoid certain picks they were going to make at the expansion draft.
I'm telling you, I'm really impressed with the team they put together, and certainly what they will continue to do so with all these extra picks.
Well, we'll go down the full roster a little bit later on in the show. We'll also talk about the NHL entry draft as the Flyers and see who they wound up picking. We already know who their first overall pick was, but we'll talk about their other picks as well. Continuing forward, go to the very next day on June 22nd. The Carolina Hurricanes acquired defenseman Trevor Van Riemsdyk and a 2018 seventh-round pick from the Vegas Golden Knights for a 2017 second-round pick. An interesting trade from the Knights to give Trevor Van Riemsdyk to the Carolina Hurricanes. I'm a little shocked they did that.
I was very shocked.
But, maybe they just didn't really have that much faith in TVR. Maybe. I don't know.
I just thought it was when I learned that they had grabbed them from the expansion draft, I'm like, that's the exact guy you should have grabbed from Chicago. A solid defenseman, young, not a huge contract, and then you go on and trade him. I mean, hey, am I in charge of putting a team together? No. So, I mean, I will bow to the experts, but I just would have thought you would have held on to TBR there.
Yeah, I would have too. I mean, I don't understand what exactly the issue was, and it's not like the guy hadn't played in a high-pressure situation. He's won a Stanley Cup.
True.
I mean, sure, he kind of got lucky. He wound up getting drafted by Chicago, but still, he played in those playoff games, did he not? So, I mean, I don't know. It just kind of seems silly to trade a young player away who has playoff experience and Stanley Cup winning experience.
Totes.
Just didn't make much sense to me. But all right, moving on. Continuing on to June 22nd as well, the New York Islanders acquired forward Jordan Eberle from the Edmonton Oilers in exchange for forward Ryan Strome. Very interesting move by the New York Islanders to get defensive depth that they actually need, and an interesting choice that the Oilers pretty much let Eberle go. I'm a little surprised they did.
I'm not.
No,
I'm not. I mean, they've been talking about shopping Eberle for like the last 2 or 3 years.
True, but you would think that they would have probably had gone for maybe a little bit more than Ryan Strome. Nothing against Ryan Strome. Nothing against him, but
Ryan Strome can be a really good goal scorer in this league.
He could be. I mean, I'm not saying he can't be, but again, I'm just surprised because the Oilers already have so much offense. Do you really want more offense? Like, you've got enough offense.
Is there really such a thing as too much?
I guess not. I mean, Edmonton is trying to, stack the deck, which is interesting. A team in the East does that too, and they're shitbags. But anyway, moving on. Moving on to the Montreal Canadiens, they acquired defenseman David Schlemko from the Vegas Golden Knights in exchange for a 2019 fifth-round pick. Now, another choice that was a little odd for the Knights. You get rid of a veteran in Schlemko to go get more picks. I mean, I see that the Knights are really just trying to focus on youth more than anything else because you trade away a veteran like Trevor Van Riemsdyk, who's won a cup, and you also trade away David Schlemko, who's had years of experience in the NHL and playoff experience on top of that. It's a bit of an odd decision, but I guess they're looking for building a long-lasting team rather than trying to make an impact team immediately. Not that they won't, but it's interesting when you trade veterans away for long-term picks that you aren't going to make until well down the line.
It's got to have something to do with the salary cap. I mean, it's like doing advanced calculus, trying to figure out, what guys they could have picked for the expansion draft per the cap, per the floor, per the ceiling, yada, yada. So you got to expect that despite the intelligence of that crew putting that team together, that there are going to be a few mistakes along the road when you're trying to pick for talent. So then you have to make these kind of compensatory trades.
Yeah, very, very true. Very, very true. Now moving on to the next day, June 23rd, the Arizona Coyotes acquired defenseman Nicholas Jarmerson from the Chicago Blackhawks in exchange for defenseman Connor Murphy and forward Laurent Daffin. Daffin.
This trade intrigued me a little bit. I knew that Chicago was going to be trading a major part of that roster, but I didn't think it was going to be Jarmerson.
Me neither, because Jarmerson just didn't seem like the guy you trade. Like, out of all, I thought they would trade Seabrook. That's who I thought. I mean, they put him. I know they recently gave him an extension, and it was worth a lot of money. But I don't know. To me, Jarmerson's kind of heart and soul like Keith is. You don't trade those players away.
I think Seabrook is more that heart and soul of that defense with Duncan Keith more than Jarmerson. Jarmerson's a really good top 4 defenseman, and he's been a huge part of why the defenses have been so good in those Stanley Cup runs. But, I mean, I guess his age might be getting up there, and they're trying to stay a little bit younger. Or they have a defensive prospect that's ready to go.
That's true. I mean, you do have that possibility. But it's odd because Duncan Keith is in the same boat. He's getting up there as well. I mean, both of them did wind up winning the first of 3 cups with the Chicago Blackhawks back in 2010. So they're not young, either one of them. Actually, Seabrook was too. So, none of them are young. So it's a bit odd. But you know what? Either way, though, it is a trade. They did get something back for it in Connor Murphy, who's not a bad defenseman. So, I mean, it's not like you didn't get anything back for him. So
no, Connor Murphy's a good young defenseman.
Yeah, so that's a solid trade for the Blackhawks. To trade older for younger, it's a good move on their part.
One last point, just going back a quick second, Maddie, to Trevor Van Riemsdyk. Now, he's only 25 years old.
I know.
Young guy, that's not the most noteworthy reason why I was bringing this up. His yearly salary is $750K. I don't understand why they traded him away. And what their loss, the Knights' loss is the Hurricanes' gain. Now you're going to have Van Riemsdyk and Noel Halfin leading that blue line. They're going to be one to contend with amongst others quality defensemen. And in case you didn't put two and two together, Trevor is the younger brother of JVR.
And the more successful one, too.
Yeah. That's up for debate. I think JVR has done, put up some decent stats in Toronto since the trade.
True, but they haven't won a cup.
True. The he-all and all, I guess, is the cup then, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can be one of the worst players in the NHL and still win a cup, but that doesn't. I don't think that necessarily makes you successful. That just means you're just on the right team.
I mean, possibility.
Yep.
All right, moving on.
I'm sorry, I'm just still baffled by that trade, so
I
I had
don't
to look that up real quick.
Well, let's try to even that out. I mean, Michael Layden is one of the worst goalies you could ask for, and he could have been a Stanley Cup champion if we had won the Cup in 2010. So
True.
there
Exactly.
you go. So there we go. Evens it all out. All right, moving on. To June 23rd, this one was an interesting trade for me. The Blue Jackets acquired Artemi Panarin and Tyler Mott and a 2017 sixth-round draft pick from the Blackhawks in exchange for Brandon Saad, Anton Forsberg, and a 2018 fifth-round draft pick. I was shocked to see Panarin go from the Chicago Blackhawks. In exchange, they put him on Columbus. And Columbus, that's a great move to go get Panarin, to get more offensive attack for your forwards. Wow.
He's a future superstar.
Yeah, and you're also giving up that offense, too, in Brandon Saad.
Yeah.
Going back to where he started in Chicago, I think Chicago learned something that they went too young too quick with the early round first round exit against Nashville. So maybe they're like, you know what, let's go back to the formula that took us to 3 cups.
That's kind of what it seems like they're doing.
I'm not saying it's the worst thing in the world to do because you can churn out playoff teams, but is it the safest thing to do? Because what happens after Taves and Kane are done?
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, maybe that's a future entry draft to come, but still.
And they're getting picks back.
They are getting picks back.
Yep. And what's nice is Brandon Saad's still like 24, 25 years old. Brandon
True.
Saad's not
really
old at all.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's not that old. Brandon Saad's
Okay.
not that old. Yeah.
They just wanted him back.
I'll verify his age, but I'm mid-20s.
Yeah, he's not that old, Brandon Saad is. Moving on.
Brandon's sad.
What a sod. Anyway, on to our next trade of June 23rd. The New York Rangers acquired Anthony DeAngelo and a 2017 first-round pick, number 7, from the Coyotes in exchange for Derek Stepan and Antti Ranta, 2 very, very good players to get for the Arizona Coyotes. Ranta, a very good, solid goalie that you can have for backup. And all to add to it, Derek Stepan, really good forward and is a veteran and brings veteran presence to the Arizona Coyotes. For younger players like Anthony Duclair and Max Domi, that's huge for them.
Yeah, I mean, at least in the case of Stepan, this was certainly a move to get younger.
Yeah.
By the Rangers, even though you seem like they're giving away a little bit more talent than they're getting. The player they got back happens to be a defenseman?
It actually does not say what Anthony DeAngelo is on this. That's a really great reporting there, NHL.
Right. I'm going to look that up real quick for you because that could be another angle on this, too, is that they really need to address their blue line.
Yeah.
You said Anthony
DeAngelo.
Oh, there you go.
And while you look it up, I'll verify Brandon Saad is 24 years old.
24. So there you go. Not that young at all.
And DeAngelo's a 21-year-old defenseman. That's why that
there
makes
we go.
sense.
There we go.
And this is going to be the first of many trades that you see the Rangers do to really shore up that blue line without a doubt. I mean, really the 5 key teams that you really need to watch when free agency starts on July 1, the Rangers, the Avalanche, the Canadians. I don't think they're quite done yet.
No.
So let's see, Rangers, Canadians, Islanders. We already saw them trade away Travis Hamonic.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're going to get that in a second. And I think the Golden Knights, I don't think, are done formulating that team yet either.
Probably not. But I will say this. Eric Stahl's not going to be on the Rangers.
Yeah.
They're going to trade him. The question is where and to whom.
Eric Stahl's not on the Rangers.
That's right, he's not.
Mark Stahl, you think?
Mark Stahl, yeah. I think they're going to trade him.
It won't surprise me. They already got rid of Stepan. They've gotten rid of – they cut ties with Girardi.
Yeah. I'll be completely honest with you. They're going to send Mark Stahl somewhere. I don't know where, but they're going to put him somewhere.
Yeah.
That's going to be real interesting to see where he goes.
He got old quick. He's 30.
I know.
I didn't realize he was
Yeah.
He was just too old.
Mark Stahl's what, 30 or not Mark Stahl? Eric Stahl's what, 35?
He's the oldest one out of all three. So
I think Eric's 35 and Jordan's in between the two of them.
Stahl's 32.
And Mark Stahl is the only one without a cup ring, too, to go along with that. Eric's got one, and Jordan's got one.
What's funny is there's a fourth one that I don't think ever made it to the NHL.
Oh, well, happens every now and again.
What, their parents fuck like bunnies? Jesus.
That was probably the baby boomer generation, so, there you go. All peace, love, and happiness out in the Bay Area.
Yes.
Anyway, moving on to the Columbus Blue Jackets, who acquired Jordan Schroeder from the Minnesota Wild in exchange for Dante Salatoro. Not a whole lot there on that one, although Schroeder's not a bad player. On to the Chicago Blackhawks, acquiring a 2017 first-round draft pick, number 29, and a 2017 third-round pick, which was number 70, from the Dallas Stars for a 2017 first-round pick of number 26. Basically, Dallas trading up, Chicago trading down. Basically, that's all that was. Moving on to the St. Louis Blues, who acquired forward Braden Chen from the Philadelphia Flyers for forward Yuri Lahitra and a 2017 first-round pick, number 27, and a conditional 2018 first-round pick. We will get to that pick a little bit later on the show. Overall, I'm not heartbroken by Braden Chen leaving. Really, I'm not. I mean, Braden Chen had a good season, a good couple of seasons, but he never really truly tapped into the potential that I thought he was going to in Philly. I don't think he ever really got to that point where
Certainly
he
not
was.
even strength, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So I'm not too heartbroken to see him go. Lahitra's not a bad player, so I'm not too broken up by us trading away Braden Chen. I was always thinking they were going to trade Braden Chen somewhere down the line. I just didn't know when.
And the guy, and I won't, spill the beans because we're going to get to that later, but obviously a lot of you out there, Flyers fans, know who they did pick with that 27th pick. So I think that adds in terms of the value of the trade. A couple comments came in to do with this, so I'll read it off. Very intelligent comment coming in from Adrian Barrett. For a team that struggled to score as much as the Flyers did last season, trading Shen and the power play goals he contributed could be seen as a big move in and of itself. So she says no, that this doesn't indicate that there's a bigger move on the horizon for Hextall in relation to our poll question. I think the trade was about getting rid of Shen's $5.125 million cap hit a few years down the road when some younger players will hopefully be on the rise. Great point, Adrian. Thanks for chiming in. We got Greg Milakovic chiming in saying, yes, too many centers. Maybe move for a sniper on the wing. So he's saying, the reverse side, that this does indicate a bigger move. Tommy chimes in and goes, I sure hope so. Definitely keep the comments flooding. Facebook, YouTube, I'll read them off.
Thank you, everybody, for commenting. And like Rob said, keep them coming. All right. And now moving on to the enemy, better known as the Pittsburgh Shit Penguins. Penguins acquiring forward Ryan Reeves and a 2017 second-round pick, number 51, from the St. Louis Blues for forward Oscar Sundqvist, and a 2017 first-round pick, which was number 31. Obviously, they were picking last because they won the Stanley Cup. This actually was a pick that one Mr. Mikey Klenkoff, the residential Penguins lover, was all about and was very, very excited that Ryan Reeves was coming to Pittsburgh in exchange for Oscar Sundqvist, which was not much to give up. Overall, what did you think about this trade? This was he's a big guy, big body. He's going to be pretty much bodyguard time. That's his job, is to be Mr. Bodyguard.
2 words for you, enforcer.
Yeah, pretty much.
Somebody to protect Crosby, because Crosby, a lot of opposing players and teams have really taken liberties with them, and you saw that during this year's playoffs. Didn't really thwart them from winning the cup, sadly. But you're planning for the future. I think it's a good pick, adding a little size to this team. Plus, I think Mikey was saying outside that the guy can put the biscuit in the basket a little bit too. He's not like a goon or anything.
Yeah, he's a little bit. He's got like 46 career points or something like that.
Yeah.
That's not too bad for a guy who's considered a grinder. So, not a bad move. And that would definitely be interesting for Pittsburgh. So we really need Sam Morin brought up. Like, so that way him and Ryan Reeves could actually, like, go to blows and have Sam Moran whip his ass, which would be awesome. But anyway, that's a different story for a different time. Moving on. Either that or we'll get Donald Brashear back. But anyway, and he'll fuck his day up anyway.
Yeah, buddy.
Moving on to June 24th. Speaking of the Flyers acquired a 2017 second-round pick, number 35. We'll talk about that in a little bit. From the Arizona Coyotes for a 2017 second-round pick, which was number 44, and a 2017 third-round pick at number 75, and a 2017 fourth-round pick at number 108. We'll definitely be talking about that pick because that was one highly invested in for trading 3 picks away in order to get this one. As for the Arizona Coyotes, great move on their part just to keep stockpiling picks and just get that youth core just built up even faster because that's what the Coyotes are doing. It's all rebuild time for them. Coyotes have become very good trade partners with the Flyers in recent years. Maybe it's not a bad idea for them to stay in Arizona.
The new Flyers West.
Moving on to June 24th, continuing, the Columbus Blue Jackets acquired a 2017 second-round pick at number 45 from the Vegas Golden Knights for forward Keegan Kolesar. Not a whole lot there. The Edmonton Oilers acquiring a 2017 third-round pick at number 78 from the Arizona Coyotes for a 2017 third-round pick at number 82 and a 2017 fifth-round pick at number 126. Lots of pick trading going on as this was, of course, around the draft period. June 24th, Calgary Flames acquired defenseman Travis Hamonic and a conditional fourth-round pick from the New York Islanders for a 2018 first-round pick and a 2018 second-round pick and a conditional second-round pick. That's a lot to dish out to Calgary. And that's a lot to dish out from Calgary. Along with that, for Travis Hamonic going on over there, more defensive depth for Calgary, which they would also need to go along with their new goalie that they've decided to get their new shiny goalie, and they got a new shiny defenseman to go along with it. That's not a bad move by Calgary at all, going to get Travis Hamonic, who has more than enough experience for a young team that needs to get a little older to put more dominant veteran presence out there, which is what they really lacked in the long run. They had all the firepower in the world, but they do need more veteran presence, and they definitely got it in Travis Hamonic, and adding a veteran goalie like Mike Smith didn't hurt nothing.
I do like the trade, very much so for Calgary. Islanders have been talking about trading Hamonic for years. Hamonic wanted out. I think he wanted out to Winnipeg just because of where his family is, but now he's closer to his family in Calgary than he was in New York. So it's a good move. It works out. The Islanders are getting 3 high picks for him. So
they are. The Islanders definitely did not get shortchanged in this deal, so there's nothing wrong with that.
Great pull for a guy that's what would you say average NHL player.
I think he's a little above average.
A little above average.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, he's definitely worth 3. I think he's definitely worth. If you tried 4, then we're pushing it a little bit. Then we're pushing a little too high.
I mean, 26 years old. He's not
old.
He's not an old player whatsoever. You're gonna get some good. Still got plenty of good time. He's starting his prime.
All right, and now continuing forward, the San Jose Sharks acquire a 2017 fourth-round pick at number 102 from the New York Rangers for a 2017 fourth-round pick at number 123 and a 2017 sixth-round pick in number 174. Rangers stockpiling a little bit on their picks. The Chicago Blackhawks also acquiring picks as well. They acquired a 2017 fourth-round pick from the Vancouver Canucks. I don't know why the Canucks are trading their picks away. They really shouldn't be. For a 2017 fifth-round pick and a 2017 sixth-round pick. Okay, well, it's worth 2. All right, that's fine. New York Islanders acquiring a 2017 sixth-round pick from the Los Angeles Kings for a 2018 sixth-round pick. A lot of sixth-rounders going back and forth here. Flyers also involved in this deal. Montreal Canadiens acquiring a 2017 seventh-round pick at number 199 from the Flyers for a 2018 seventh-round pick. That's usually where you get your goalies, so that'll be interesting to see where we go with that in the future. Moving on, San Jose Sharks acquire a 2017 sixth-round pick at 185 from the New Jersey Devils for 2 2017 seventh-round picks, 205 and number 214. And now, with all that out of the way, with all the picks done, we go to the most recent trade. June 26th, the Dallas Stars acquiring defenseman Mark Mathot from the Vegas Golden Knights for goalie Dylan Ferguson, who is a nobody, and a 2020 second-round pick. So, gentlemen, what do you think about that deal? Mark Mathot leaving.
Salary dumping. about all I can think of with that. I mean, several of these latter deals that you said were all draft day deals, so
Yeah.
it makes sense just to get position. Maybe for a team that does need to draft a goaltender late in the 100 rounds, 100 pick round.
I mean, it's going to be interesting. I mean, obviously, the Dylan Ferguson is not going to be probably playing anytime soon in the NHL. But along with that, the 2020 second-round pick, who knows? I mean, who knows what 2020 is going to bring us? That's still how many years away? So, I mean, not that far away, but it's still, not right around the corner.
I was told there'd be no math.
So, but, I mean, Mark Mathot, though, getting picked up by the Dallas Stars, that's not a bad move on their part. But, again, they're kind of in a somewhat disarray right now. I mean, they just recently bought out Niemi because their goaltending situation was a disaster. And now Dallas really got to figure something out here. They're not in a good spot. They're not in a bad spot, but they're not in a great spot by any stretch of the imagination.
I mean, I think this deal is going to wind up leading Vegas to be very active in free agency. And it's a good deal for Dallas because they need the defensive depth. They lacked that hard last year.
Yeah, they did.
Mathot did have a plus 13 last season, so he's definitely not a detriment to your defensive squad.
No, he's definitely going to help out on the back end for sure.
Yep.
So those are the trades and transactions that have gone on so far in the NHL. So everybody's all caught up to speed now, and so are we.
Oh, you got some speed, man?
Yeah.
Nah.
Here. It's in my back pocket. There you go.
Nice.
Moving on. While the party gets started with Rob, we will head to a break. When we come back, it'll be time to talk about the draft. We'll talk about the Golden Knights and the roster that they officially have going into their inaugural season. That may not be permanent because free agency is coming right around the corner on Saturday. And then we'll talk about the Flyers and their draft, not only with their number 1 pick that they made in the first draft, in the first round, not the first draft, in the first round with Nolan Patrick. We'll talk about the rest going on, as well as get a little bit more in depth on the Braden Shen deal and such like that. That is all on the other side. But first, we'll talk to you about Gibson Mayer LLC. They are your certified public accountants. They are located at 301 Oxford Valley Road in Yardley, PA. You can give them a call, 215-369-3300. Tax season was here, but next year, remember, there's always a next year until Armageddon happens, of course. But be ready, be prepared, get Gibson Mayer because taxes are forever. But anyway, when we come back, more about the Flyers and their draft, as well as the expansion draft, the Vegas Golden Knights finalizing their roster and their team. That's all on the other side on the Hockey Happy Hour at A2DRadio.com. A2DRadio.com is sponsored by The Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
Hey, do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
You're listening to the Hockey Happy Hour, only on A2DRadio.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hockey Happy Hour. We are live from the BMW of Atlantic City Studios here in Mount Ephraim, New Jersey. Rob, you good?
Yes.
I'm sure you are. This is the broken one, Rob Povia. We've got the Darkwing, Brian Daly, behind the board, as well as hosting with us. I am Matt Sensudi, and this is the Hockey Happy Hour live on A2DRadio.com, brought to you by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. They're located at 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com. All right. So we went through the trades and the transactions and all that fun stuff, and we got ourselves all caught up to speed. Now it's time for us to get into the real fun stuff, the draft. We'll talk about the Flyers draft picks, as well as we will get into the Las Vegas Golden Knights and their roster, which is not finalized, but it is what it is right now. So we'll see if it lasts. We'll see if we see half these guys on opening day, or if, they'll be all traded away come free agency time, which starts Saturday. So before we get to that, Eve, do we have any new comments going out there on YouTube or Facebook right now?
Not currently.
Not currently. All right, then.
Get to work, peoples.
Yeah, but feel free to chime on in. Feel free to say if my opinion is wrong and that I'm an idiot if you feel like it. I'm sure I'm not. But anyway, we'll move on from that.
You're a very intelligent young boy.
All right, I'm a little creeped out. But anyway.
As well as you should be.
Moving on, here is the roster for the Knights currently as it stands.
I stand corrected. More comments did come in.
Good.
Would you like me to read them now?
Go right ahead.
All right, we got Bob Hartman chiming in saying, I think the trade was more about the draft picks they got in exchange because they didn't save much in cap hit from Shen to the guy they got in the trade.
Bingo.
Although I believe they saved
like
a year.
They saved. I want to say they saved a year, but Braden Shent's cap hit was 5.1 for the next couple of years, versus Latera's 4.7 this year to $5 million next year.
Now, one thing, though, that I will say this, though, it will be much easier, though, to dish him off when he's got a 1 year left on his deal. So maybe that's the reason why that they wanted to send him away after he has 1 year that's not too high of a cap hit, and then you can try and see if anybody would be interested in him, especially if he has a good year as a Flyer. Then you could say, okay, why don't we see what we can go get for him if you really feel that strongly about not keeping him here, or you bite the bullet and you pay him that salary for a year and then you talk about extension. And if he walks, he walks.
Right.
So, I mean, it's not too bad of a situation as compared to whatever the reason would be, you know. And if he doesn't produce, then, you know, you'll have to bite the bullet, but it is what it is. We had to bite the bullet with Valtteri Filppula.
I lied. It's steady at 4.7. His base salary increases next year.
Which would be?
It would be 4.7 to 5.
Okay.
So his cap hit is 4.7 over the next 2 years.
Oh, okay. So then it's not really a risk even all that much at all. So even then, you have him for 2 years, and if he has 2 okay years, all right, fine. He was a 2-year rental anyway. Or if he has really good years, then you could talk about extension possibilities. Or you just dish him off to whatever team's willing to take him in exchange for anything you can get for him. So you have your options open for Latera. I'm not really, like I said, I don't think it was a bad deal. I don't think anybody got fleeced. Nothing really. It was pretty much tit for tat. You evenly traded with the St. Louis Blues.
I think it was a very even trade. I like the trade overall. You got 2 first-round picks out of it, and you got a good role player.
Yeah, so
not a goal scorer or anything like that. He's not going to give you 25 goals like Braden Shen did, but
yeah,
good role player.
But Brady, again, his even strength play wasn't that good anyway, so you're really not trading for much when it comes to that. So, moving on to the Las Vegas Golden Knights. Oh, I'm sorry, Rob, was there any more comments?
There was one more. Let me get her name. Because all she said was, I hope so. But I would give a little credit to those that are chiming in today. Excuse me, sorry, I went off the page for a minute.
That's okay. I went off track for a few minutes, so, you know, we're all guilty.
Getting off the train, off the tracks. The person was Beth Smith says, I hope so.
All right, then. Well, we definitely hope so, too.
And Vespi goes, hopefully.
Hopefully. All right, then, Mr. Vespi of The Fix.
A lot of people are not content with this current Flyers squad. I mean, there's a lot of talent here.
Well, yeah, but I can understand why they're not content because, you know, the season we had last year was not a really good season. Yes, were we competitive in the playoffs? We were, but when you only got one player really doing anything and you got some young players making a bit of an impact, but they're still young, and your goaltending situation is still a goaltending situation, it hasn't been solved, I could see why people would have a little bit of discontent with it.
Call me crazy, but I don't think this team is really as talented as people think it is. And I think there is a move ahead for Hextall, but it's not going to be a big splash like people think it's going to be.
It's going to be one of those sleeper under the gun kind of like little moves, like almost undercover of darkness moves.
I think so, and I think it's going to. I think it's going to come during free agency. I think Hextall is going to bring in somebody that's going to be. Bit of a sleeper.
Yeah, I mean, that's a possibility. I mean, he's been making these sleeper moves the whole time. I mean, when he went and signed Belmar, we really I didn't think much of it. I didn't think like, oh, well, what the hell? It's not a big deal. Belmar turned out to be one of the more important players we had on the team, you know, so he's been pulling that off. So it's not like it's been any shocker here with these minor deals that he's made.
No, not at all. And he's drafted fairly well, I think, so far with Provorov and Konechny. And, you know, I still think they should have traded the number 2 pick. But, you know, you get Nolan Patrick, who's potentially an opening day roster type of player.
One of the 2 that was available in the draft, you know. So, I mean, that's not the worst thing in the whole world. To go along with it, too, he also wound up getting Carter Hart, and he also got, I believe, Felix Sandstrom to go along with it as goaltending depth for the future, you know. So, I mean, it's not like he hasn't done his fair share of picking young players and looking for those guys who are kind of like those gut check players, like a Travis Konechny who came out of nowhere and wound up making the team. So, but moving on to the Las Vegas Golden Knights. We'll get more into the Flyers. That's a little teaser for everybody. On to the Golden Knights roster, the not-so-finalized roster, but still somewhat. Pierre-Edouard Bellemare, as we said before, from the Flyers. Connor Brickley, William Carrier, David Clarkson, Reed Duke, Cody Eakin, Mikhail Grabowski, Nikita Gusev, Eric Howla, Thomas Heike, William Karlsson, Brendan Leipsic, Oscar Lindberg, Jonathan Marchessault, James Neal, Thomas Nosek, David Perron, Timu Polkinen, Vadim Shipachyov, Riley Smith, Chris Thorburn, and Alex Touche are all the forwards of the Golden Knights currently.
That was two new other picks that I was really pretty high on with Cody Eakin and
Marchessault?
Eric Halla.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think
Eric Halla
was
huge for them. Signing him to, I believe, a 3-year deal, too.
That's a good one.
Good. There was a good move on Vegas' part. They got a good player.
They did. And you know what? They've also got Jonathan Marchessault, who's a really good, solid offensive player from Florida, who Florida left unprotected. I mean, that might come back to bite Florida in the ass if he turns out to be as good as his year had shown early on, that he has the ability to possibly be that.
Could be, but I like the team that Florida's starting to put together. Although you lost Marchessault and you lose Riley Smith, who I thought were two big parts. I was going to say intricate, but it didn't come out until now. But they still got Vincent Trocheck and Derek McKenzie, and they still got some good young talent there. But I don't know. I thought those two guys were going to be a huge part of the core Panthers as the years go on.
Well, I mean, the Panthers did have but the thing about the Panthers is they had a lot of young talent, and it's very, very hard to protect everybody. You got to make your sacrifices here or there. I mean, you didn't want to lose Reinhart or anything like that, so you kind of got to hold on to players like that because
I absolutely get it. You hold on to Ekblad, you hold on to Trocheck, you hold on to McKenzie. Those are your big three guys that are the future of the Florida Panthers.
Ekblad was the one I was thinking of, not Reinhart. Reinhart's on another team. What was it? I forget what team he's on. But anyway, moving on.
Couple different sites are just saying multi-year contract for Eric Halla, not really specifying 3 years, but very well could. I mean,
I'll do a little more research.
That's what I'm saying. You have the insider track on that one. Multi-year. I think 3 years is multi-year.
I think so,
possibly. It's been reported. Moving on to the defensive players on the Golden Knights. Jake Bischoff, not related to Eric Bischoff, in case anyone was wondering. If anyone caught that, you're a wrestling fan. Thank you. We love you. Moving on, Alexei Emelin, Derek England, who I can't stand, Jason Garrison, Braden McNabb. That's only because he was a Penguin. Moving on, John Merrill, Colin Miller, Griffin Reinhart. There we go. That was who I was thinking of. And no, he was not on the Panthers. He was on what team was Griffin Reinhart on? I forget what team he was on last year.
I want to say Buffalo, but I think I'm thinking Sam Reinhart.
You are.
Yeah, you're thinking Sam Reinhart. Yeah. What team was he on last year? Oh, wait, was it Edmonton?
Maybe Calgary?
Maybe Calgary?
I'm thinking Calgary.
You think Calgary? All right, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what team Griffin Reinhart was on, but I know that he was an important player that I was thinking they should have gone out and gotten. They did, so it was a smart move on their part. Lucas Pisa, Nate Schmidt, Clayton Stoner, and Shea Theodore are all members of the defensive side, and I really like this defensive unit. I mean, he was on Edmonton. What do you know? All right, cool.
Good call.
Check
by the way,
out the big brain on Brad.
But I love
3-year
this.
deal.
3-year deal.
There you go, man. Official.
I love this defensive unit. This defensive unit is a solid defensive unit right here.
Minus Clayton Stoner, I agree.
Minus Clayton Stoner. Yeah.
Best name in hockey.
But, yeah, man. But anyway.
The colors, man.
What I like about it, though, is that with their offensive attack, there's a lot of youth there that they're trying to hope for. I know they were really hoping when they got and signed Shipachyov from the KHL, they're really hoping he's going to turn out to be something big for them moving forward. Riley Smith, Marchessault, I mean, that's not bad. James Neal's not bad either. But when it comes down to it, man, this defensive unit might just be the heart and soul of this Knights team to move forward in the beginning of their career, where their blue line's going to have to be their main focus at this current time because this blue line is solid right now. I love this blue line.
I agree. It's a good blue line for the most part. It's young. You got good players on there like Shea Theodore, and Griffin Reinhart has a lot of potential to be a really good defenseman.
Yep. And you got proven players like Schmidt, Spiza, McNabb. You've also got England and Emelin. You know, you got really good, solid defensive players right here.
And with McNabb, as I learned on Agree to Disagree, another relative of Donovan McNabb playing hockey. That's Darnell Nurse and McNabb here.
Darnell Nurse. Yeah, Darnell Nurse, the nephew of Donovan McNabb, who was oh man, I'm trying to remember who picked him, and I don't remember that. Damn it,
Darnell Nurse.
Yeah,
he was drafted by Edmonton.
Yep.
I mean, that was I was thinking I couldn't remember who the hell. Boy, it's been a bad day for me all around. Anyway, moving on. Goalies. Let's get out of this. On to goalies. We have Jean-Francois Berube, not Berube apparently, because God forbid you can't mix them up. Whatever. Berube of the formerly of the New York Islanders, Marc-Andre Fleury of the Pittsburgh Penguins, the worst kept secret in hockey. We all knew he was leaving.
Yep.
And Calvin Pickard, all now members of the goalie tandem here. Obviously, Marc-Andre Fleury is the starter. I don't think we could debate that.
Picard was their first pick, though, ahead of Fleury, though, I guess, in the order of progression of the draft. I'm very surprised which way, because we talked about this on last show. A lot of good goaltenders, and besides Fleury, none of the other ones we suspected were selected. And, man, they still did excellent. Picard could be a great backup, and Berube is their long-term starter. He's a fabulous talent in goaltending. I've been scouting him for fantasy hockey for years. Certainly what the Islanders lost is certainly the Knights' gain.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know why the Islanders left him unprotected, but, that's that.
Too many goals yeah.
I would have just let Grice. Yeah, maybe Grice. Maybe Halak. Oh, no, not Halak. He's not on the team anymore. But anyway.
I'm going to need a timeout real quick.
Sure, we've got a timeout on the play.
Can we backtrack?
Sure, let's go ahead and backtrack.
Rob, who told you that Braden McNabb was related to Donovan?
That's what the guy said on Agree to Disagree. No, that's wrong?
No.
Oh.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
I could see.
Darnell Nurse is, and I don't know if they said that, but
yeah.
I could see one reason why Braden McNabb's not related. Just one. Oh, man.
I don't think of those things.
That's all right.
I didn't
That's
think.
okay.
Hey, listen. In this day and age, it wouldn't surprise me even if he was purple. That's
a hell of a lot worse than what I was saying.
But I was thinking about it. I was like, Braden McNabb, is he really? No.
He is in spirit. That's the important thing.
That's just like me being related to Trevor Daly. It's just.
Well, you are. You are. Yes.
It's always adopted situations.
Well, right. That's what I'm saying. This day and age, it wouldn't surprise me regardless. But
if he comes to Philly, he officially is related to Donovan McNabb. Then if Braden McNabb ever winds up a Flyer, then yes, he is officially related to Donovan McNabb. So we'll leave it at that. He'll officially be adopted by the McNabb family.
Darnell Nurse, yes. Braden McNabb, no.
Yet.
Sorry,
folks.
Yes. But, hey, guess what? He may be a Flyer one day. And if he is, then he will officially be adopted by Donovan McNabb's family. It's official.
He's a decent defenseman, too. Okay, so time in.
All right.
Game on.
That little break in the action was brought to you by the BMW of Atlantic City. If you ever wanted the ultimate driving experience, well, then go to the BMW of Atlantic City. They're easy to get to. They are minutes off of exit 37 of the Parkway, located at 6037 Black Horse Pike in Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey. Give them a call at 609-568-9200. They are online at www.bmwatlanticcity.com.
Yes, my segment was sponsored.
Another comment coming in really quick. Bernie Campbell answers our question of, do you think Ron Hextall is setting up for a big move by trading Braden Shen? He says nope. He's putting Patrick right in there. They plan on, and maybe we can get into that a little bit further when we talk about the Flyers picks. But the 2 first-rounders and the money dump were really the crux of that deal.
Absolutely, and I like that comment, and it's a great segue because now it is time to start talking about the good old Philadelphia Flyers, the orange and the black, and their picks for the 2017 NHL entry draft. The Flyers, of course, got the luck of the draw, if you would, getting the number 2 overall pick for a team that we really didn't think they were going to get anything higher than maybe 12, 11,
Right.
13. And we wound up getting number 2, so awesome. And with that pick, we, of course, picked Nolan Patrick, the first pick for the Flyers in this year's draft. And relatively overall, he's got a lot of guys here around the station, including Tom Renone, of Agree Disagree and AM into PM. You know, he was stating he likes the bloodline that, you know, Nolan Patrick comes from, which does have a lot of athleticism in his bloodline. So that is definitely a plus. Natural athlete.
So many professional athletes in his family. I mean, his father was a former hockey player. His 2 sisters play hockey currently as well. And then I believe like his uncle is I want to just take a stab and say he's a professional volleyball player, but I could be wrong in that. Just a lot of athleticism in this lineage of the Patrick family.
Yeah, the Patrick family, I mean, it's got a really good opportunity here. I mean, that's not bad to have investment in the bloodline. I did hear a little bit where he might possibly be injury prone, which I don't like. But if that turns out to be false, then good. Then that person's wrong, and that's cool.
It's not so much injury prone. He's coming off a sports hernia that they've really downplayed a lot. And when I mean they, I mean the Brandon Wheat Kings, where he played his junior hockey with. You know, they say it's not going to be a problem for this upcoming year, but it's kind of hard to predict that with a sports hernia. It's not really a very predictable injury. So, you know, in terms of like those chiming in saying that, oh, he's going to slide in right away, I don't know if that's possible because of 2 reasons. One, you know, you don't want to feast a young kid to the wolves that's nursing a sports hernia injury. And 2, like I said, young, 18 years old, 6'3", but only 198 pounds, and that he's got to really put on some muscle, or else, you know, he's going to get beat up a lot coming in. I mean, Kenny, he's fabulous on the faceoffs. He's a highly skilled and all-around player, good two-way player, kind of who we thought we were getting in Sean Couturier, but definitely on a higher level in terms of goal-scoring ability. You know, I would like to see it because the kid is talented, but I don't think you see him right away next year, if at all. We know Hexall. Come on now.
Yes, wait till the last possible minute to bring somebody up.
It's Philadelphia tradition.
It's good to know some things never change.
He's got above-average skating, shooting, and puck skills. As I said, he's a reliable two-way player. He also, here's a key thing, he'll do an excellent job on the penalty kill. Which, you know, obviously we lost a big cog in that in Pierre-Edouard Bellemare. So, you know, long-term, this is a top 6 center for this team, which they needed. It allows them to do a couple things with Giroux to make him more successful. One is potentially Nolan Patrick could take the top-line center on this team, moving Giroux down to the second line, which certainly now teams can't target and isolate Giroux as much playing on the second line, just like we saw success with Couturier moving down to the third line. It bumps the pecking order down and makes the overall team stronger. Or, and this is what I read out there too, is that you have the potentiality of possibly moving Giroux to the wing, playing Patrick at center, and then maybe having a Voracek or a Konechny on the other side.
That's an interesting idea.
I mean, I like it. I like the potential of that possibility, but you did bring up a good concern, though, with the size. That, to me, is the major reason why I think he won't be on the opening roster, not just because of the recovery from the sports hernia. Again, I'm not always 100%. You don't want to put a kid in who's not ready to go into the NHL. That's just a scary, scary situation to put somebody in there like that who's not ready for it, clearly not ready for it, or undersized and can't handle the hitting.
Right. Well, people are seeing that he's been in the WHL for quite some time, you know, since the 2013-14 season, coming up with the Winnipeg Thrashers and then moving on to the Brandon Wheat Kings. Now, you know, this is what people are salivating at the mouth for. In 2015-16, put up 41 goals, 14-15 put up 30 goals. 13-14 he put up 33 goals. Last year he only put up 20 goals, but that was in only 33 games played. So guy can score. He's great with his defensive assignments. He's a great all-around player. And a lot of people say the Devils did us a favor by passing up on him and going for Nico Hershier. As Bob McKenzie pronounced. I studied it like 20 different times before we went on Sunday night. But anyway, me personally, if this team needs more proven goal scorers or snipers, well, that's more Nico. He's got a great move towards the net, vicious backhand. So I was almost hoping that the Devils went Patrick and we got Nico for that point, but I'm not sad at all getting Nolan Patrick. Like you started off by saying, great lineage in that family.
It's not just that. He's a good all-around player. He's not one-dimensional, and that's something that could be very beneficial to this club.
And Nico could be, in that category of one dimensions, yeah.
Could be. We'll just see how the kid grows and develops and how the Devils decide to use him.
Well, if anything has shown how the Devils have used players already, that's a bad sign for the kid. I can tell you that right now. His career is going to die in New Jersey.
Looking at HockeyWriters.com, though, in terms of their expectations for Nolan Patrick, they're saying that he's ready to start right off the get-go. I have my doubts about that for all the reasons we said before, but I mean, I guess, based on the talent-wise alone, I think he'd have to be the best player in camp, if not the second best player, in order to make this team and prove that he's over the sports hernia.
Yeah, that would be the same thing with Stolarz. He's got the same benchmark as Stoli does. If Stoli winds up having a great camp, he's on the team. If Patrick has a great camp, he's on the team. If he doesn't have as great of a camp as you want him to, he's going back to juniors for a year.
Right.
Well, with Nolan Patrick, the only thing that I see that would keep him from getting on the roster, which he's aiming for right out of camp, which is a good sign.
I'm sure he is
getting that weight up.
Yeah, that's going to be the major factor. I mean, can he get big enough to where he can bulk up and he can handle hits in the NHL? That is the first pick that the Flyers made in this year's draft. We still have a few more to go down, and we will go down those on the other side. But first, we will talk to you about Liberty Event Rentals. They're located in 2154 East Cambria Street in Philadelphia, PA. You give them a call, 267-314-7368. They are located at www.libertyeventrentals.com. They are for tables, chairs, tents, linens, anything for your party or event needs. July 4th is next week. Think about that. Might want to go to them if you're planning something big or having a fireworks show. That's Liberty Event Rentals. On the other side, we will talk more about the Flyers and the rest of their picks in the 2017 draft. And then we will get full on into, re-signings and departures that the Flyers have had happen over the early part of this offseason. That's on the other side. This is the Hockey Happy Hour at a2dradio.com, and we'll be right back right after this. A2DRadio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located at 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
Hey, do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
You're listening to the Hockey Happy Hour, only on A2DRadio.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hockey Happy Hour. We are live from the BMW of Atlantic City Studios here in Mount Ephraim, New Jersey. And unlike Enzo and Big Cass, we all ride together and die together. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And
Broke my heart.
just got to ask you all a question. Gentlemen, ladies, are you an athlete? Because if you are an athlete, I could tell you all about the Sports Outlet, but we already did. After you got your equipment, and we are also sponsored by the Scanzano Sports Center, after you've gotten your skills up and you're done for the day, when you go home, you're going to smell. And you really want to do your significant other a disservice and just be all stinky? No, I don't think so. I don't think the other one would like it too much, especially not in the bed. So, there is a solution, and that is the Soap Stash. The Soap Stash, they've got all the best carrier oils. They are 100% natural. Everything's nice. They have no phthalates, no anything bad for the skin. It's all perfect for you. Everybody's been using it at the station, and it's great for them. It's done wonders for them. Rob will tell you all about it.
Every day.
And they like to get their orders through Facebook. If you can, through Messenger. They are located at Soapstash LLC at Facebook. But they also have a website, www.soapstash.com. And they also have their number, 1-844-890-3197 for the Soap Stash. The best soap and the only soap you'll ever need.
I love this bed, man, because it makes me feel like we're in a 1980s movie. Maybe like the way it starts off, it's a little like Top Gun.
I'm thinking more like a movie like Weird Science or something like that.
Yeah, then when it gets into this, this portion of this, absolutely.
War Games, you remember that one?
War Games.
Oh, yeah,
War Games.
classic.
There you go.
Classic. Couple questions coming in on YouTube. Benjamin Molesky, hopefully I pronounced your name correctly, asks, who do you think Hex brings in for goalie? Bernier, Elliott, and when do you think it happens?
That's
July
actually
1st?
That's a very good, intelligent question because there's been debate, and Hexy's already been stating before, unless Stoley has a really good camp, and that's from Daly saying that he's not going to make the opening roster. So that's a very interesting, intriguing question. You almost would think Elliott because Elliott has starting experience. But then again, you already have Michael Neuwirth, but it's a stopwatch for when he gets hurt again.
Right now. Just because Neuwirth didn't get picked in this expansion draft doesn't mean that he opens the year with the Flyers. You know, I've also read articles where they might go out and sign a veteran, trade Neuwirth, and then have this veteran unnamed and then Stoley backing him up. So there's a couple different ways that can go with this, but
that's true.
But I expect to see it earlier than later in terms of signing Elliott because I think he will be a hot commodity come July 1st. I just think based on not only the starting experience but his stats that he put up last year, which I'll bring up in a little bit, man, I mean, he definitely puts up solid numbers.
He does. He does. Don't let the playoff run fool you.
I don't think the Flyers are going after either one of those guys.
Who do you think they'd be going after?
Well, I mean, you think about it. You got Anthony Stolar, who's ready for NHL action.
Pretty much.
You have Carter Hart, who's probably a couple years away.
Probably.
Go after Ryan Miller.
Ryan Miller?
Ryan Miller's towards the end of his career. He's 36 years old.
Just made Rob's skin crawl.
He's right, but it still gave me the heebie-jeebies.
Ryan Miller's 36 years old. He's at the end of his career, right? Perfect. And he's had a tremendous career as a starting goalie. Talk about a guy who has starting experience.
This is true.
He's been solid in terrible teams. He's been solid on good teams.
Buffalo.
I was thinking more like Vancouver.
Well, Vancouver's pretty bad too, but Buffalo had their years where they were just absolute shit. So
why not bring in Ryan Miller as a bridge player before one of those guys are ready to go? Especially since, you know, me hearing that Ron Hextall has no interest in bringing Stolars up yet.
I mean, at this time, I don't even know if we can really take that as Hexy's basically saying, oh, no, Stoley's not going to make the team. Maybe he's just doing cloak and dagger where he's just saying, Stoley's not making the team.
It's
what
possible.
He does. I mean, Hexy's never been one to tell you his intentions. Never. So I don't know if this is really honestly him saying, oh, yeah, Stoley's not playing this year, or this is just him saying, like, oh, I'm just going to throw everybody for a freaking loop here because, you know, I don't like the media.
Which I love. It's none of your business how we operate our team. But just doing a little quick goalie comparison, Elliott's 32, Ryan Miller's 36, as Brian said. Elliott last year had a 2.55 goals against and a 910 save percentage, comparable to what Miller did in 5 more games. He put up a slightly more elevated goals against average of 2.80, but also had an elevated, in the good way, 914 save percentage. So either way, I don't think you go wrong in this scenario. You just get a goaltender that is 4 years younger in Elliott.
And no offense to Jonathan Bernier, but he is the best backup in the league, which, okay, that's fine, but being the best backup in the league means you're the best backup in the league.
No. With you saying that, and I'm going to jump back to Brian Elliott in a second. With you saying that, the Flyers really in a position to really go after a huge young starter? Why not go after a Jonathan Bernier who's coming off a season where his goals against average was 2.5?
Oh, yeah, but here's the thing, though. With guys with Stoley, who's already NHL ready, you kind of just like, well, what's the point of getting a backup if he's going to wind up backing up Neuwirth? Or if they're going to do the tandem between Bernier and Neuwirth, then why the hell did you let Mason walk in the first place? You know, like, it's just, that doesn't make much sense to me at all, quite frankly.
Bernier played in 39 games last year, 21 wins.
That's not bad. I'm just saying that, again, it's just like you're playing, again, you're just like, oh, well, we're doing the goaltending tandem thing. It's like, then why the hell did you get rid of Mason? You could have just signed Mason back for another year or two, and then you would have done the same thing we did last year.
Cheaper.
You know?
You can get him cheaper.
That is true. You could get him cheaper. That is very true.
Instead of spending 4.5 on probably more than that for Steve Mason to come back.
Again, I don't really. I would still like to see Stoli at least be a backup, if not be the starter.
Agreed.
I would really like to see him at least have a year in the NHL before you just thrust him into the starting position, which I think is even scarier and more stupid than having someone sit in the back and watch the veteran do it, and that way you can learn from him. Whereas compared to, sometimes you get lucky. Like a Sergei Bobrovsky, who we should never have traded away, was NHL ready the moment he got brought in. But that
I
was a
think the
different
way
story.
you describe it, Matt, it's very apropos for an NFL quarterback. But for a goaltender, I think a goaltender has to play to get better, not just watch and play and get better. So maybe that's what they're being a little reluctant with and bringing up Stoli is when they bring him up full-time, they want to bring him up full-time to be the number one. I that's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Or maybe, and this is crazy, you talked about how Carter Hart's 2 years away. Maybe Stoli's the backup to Carter Hart.
Maybe.
It's possible.
And maybe that's why they are not too quick to thrust Stoli into the goaltending position.
As high as I am on Stoli, I'm not much higher on Carter Hart, so that does make a lot of sense. Got another question coming in. If we're done with
I just wanted to jump back to Brian Elliott real quick.
Yep.
Sure.
I hear a lot of Brian Elliott possibly going to Winnipeg.
That's an interesting choice.
They don't have a number one.
They're
doing the same goalie tandem that the Flyers are doing.
True. Very, very true. That's killing Winnipeg. It really is killing Winnipeg. Because Winnipeg does have talent. I hate them, but they have talent. I mean, let's call that what it is. Their goaltending has just not been the best that it could possibly be for them. That's been a killer for them. And their defense to go along with it. But that's that. All right, Rob. So what else we got here?
David Roska chiming in. Goes Shane Doan. Where will he go to? What is going on with the Arizona Coyotes?
Well, Arizona is basically just getting rid of anybody that is like above a certain age range and bringing in players that they feel like can help the youth in their offense, which would be Derek Stepan. And clearly getting rid of Mike Smith, whom they figured, okay, he's a veteran goalie. He's not really going to do anything with us. We want to get younger. That's pretty much what the Coyotes are doing. They're just getting younger. That's all they're trying to do. And they're stockpiling all these picks for that reason. But Shane Doan, that's a very good question of where he could go. I mean, realistically, what I'm thinking is, because, Brian, you brought this up when I brought up Jerome McGinley off Mike, him getting re-signed by L.A., I could see LA just trying to stack the deck, go and get veterans like Shane Doan.
I like that you brought that up because I don't think Shane Doan's going to LA.
Really? Where would you think he'd go?
Well, first of all, the Kings are highly trying to get Joe Thornton.
That is true. They are very active in that.
Shane Doan, though, will probably want to, being 40 years old, probably want to go to a contender.
Oh, do you think he goes to Chicago? Because they just got rid of Jarmerson.
I'm thinking maybe the Rangers.
Really? That's a bad move if the Rangers pull that one. Because, like Ross was saying, they need to get younger. Like, I don't know. I don't know if that's a smart move on the Rangers'
You lose
part.
Derek Stepan, so you lose a center.
You do.
You need to replace that. And Shane Doan is still a good player at his age. He's still productive.
Yeah.
And just like Rob just said, he will be inexpensive.
He would be inexpensive. I don't know, though. Like, do you think that's going to help the Rangers in any way, shape, or form? I don't even know. I don't think that would even remotely help the Rangers.
I mean, they do need a real captain, a veteran. You bring in a guy like Shane Doan, you're bringing in years of experience. You're bringing in
but he's going to be 40.
A captain. So?
Yeah, but how long do you think he's going to play? You know, I'm just saying, not everybody's Yager. You know, I mean,
no, but even still, think of it this way: Shane Doan, what he brings is not the same as bringing in like Jaromir Jagr.
I got you, but I don't know. That's a real crazy move to try it. That's getting squirrely.
Rangers are a contender. The Rangers are a contender.
I'm not saying they're not, but even Lundqvist is having trouble staying healthy. And if Lundqvist goes down, the team's going down. You know, they need Lundqvist in net. You know, it's just I don't know. I think the Rangers they're getting too old. I think they need to steer away from older veteran players. Not get too tempted by them. I mean, if you do, feel free. If you want to try and be a contender by getting older, we'll get younger and we'll kick your ass. But that's a different story. But
I mean, Shane Doan isn't.
He's not a bad player. I'm not saying he's bad, and he's not saying he's lost his luster or anything
Shane Doan
like
is
that.
a missing piece to somebody.
He is, but
and I think the Rangers are missing it. The Rangers didn't have much edge playing at Ottawa.
That's true. But
and
again,
he brings a little bit of a physical play as well as scoring.
I got that, but I mean, obviously, if the Rangers go get him, they're trying to win now. They ain't trying to get younger. They're trying to win now. It's
David
as simple as
Raska,
that.
I disagree with that wholeheartedly, dude. I'm sorry.
What did he say?
Shane Doan to the Ducks. Like, I love Shane Doan. I think he's a good player, but no. Sorry, dude. We got plenty of centers. We don't need them.
Here's a wild card. Ottawa Senators.
I mean, they got all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. It's not like they're really going to change the team up all that much. I mean, if he goes there, then Ottawa, it's cup or bust if you're going to go with a Doan. Because again, he's 40, like that. And again, I know I'm harping on the age thing here, but you really got to, because let's think about it. How long did it take for Brodeur's luster to fall out once he hit the 40 mark? Didn't take that long, to the point where even the Devils got rid of him. I mean, I'm just saying, and when's the stopwatch is on, when's he's going to stop playing well? You're taking a gamble with a Shane Doan.
Right.
You take a gamble with any player. It doesn't matter the age.
I'm just saying Ottawa because that's their weakest position as center. I mean, sure, you got Kyle Turris. After that, you got behind him Derek Brassard. Zach Smith, who's an up-and-coming guy but not a proven commodity, and it just gets thinner from there. So I thought maybe a veteran guy, playoff experience, it might be an adage there. I don't even know if they would have the cap room either. So
well, that's kind of why I like the Rangers. I think that's a good fit. Is they do have a little bit more space now that they've gotten rid of some players. Stepan's 6.7 cap hit, I believe. So that opens up the market and it opens up a position for him.
see.
I mean, that's a possibility. I don't know. I don't know if it's a smart move for the Rangers to do it. I mean, personally, I don't think it is. I mean, not saying that he can't add to the team, because he absolutely can add to the team. And I hope he doesn't go because of that reason, because he is still a really good player. It's just, again, at 40 years old, I don't like the age. I just don't like the age. If I was looking at him at 40 years old, I don't know, as good as he is, how long it's going to be before it's time for him to hang up those skates? You really got to start thinking about that.
I get it, but hockey's not like any other sport. There have been players that have still been very productive playing past 40. Mark Messier, Teemu Solani, Jaromir Jagr.
But that was back in the day. That's a different game.
I think we should move on, and you guys can settle this outside in a little fisticuffs.
All right, sure.
That's the way we're moving.
No, you know what?
Right now.
We're not because I will never get into a fist fight over a Rangers issue. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Over the Flyers, yes. Rangers, absolutely not. Never go to bat for the Rangers. Screw the Rangers. Anyway,
we could always just make a gentleman's bet.
Sure. What?
I don't know.
We'll
figure it out.
$1. All right, $1, gentlemen's bet.
$1 gentleman's bet. I'm down.
Either that or a duel. Go 10 paces with muskets. Anyway,
no,
that's
good.
different
I'd
story.
rather give up the $1.
I'd give up the $1 too. I don't need a musket ball. Anyway, moving on.
I'd rather tape down my jersey so you can't pull it over my head.
All right, on to let's get gear back to what we were going to do. Any more comments by anybody? Any more from Mr. David Raska or anybody on the Facebook world?
I think we're up to date, bud.
All right, cool. So back to the Flyers. Yes, we were talking about the Flyers before we start getting off into the Shane Doan talk. And
good question, though.
Yes, it is a good question, though. I do like the question, Raska. Keep them coming. Moving on to the Flyers continuing their first-round picks. They did trade for this one and pick number 27, and they wound up getting Morgan Frost, who I am not too familiar with, so I'll have to look up his stats.
Another great hockey name. A guy that's really he's a speedy playmaker. That's how I could really describe it. And he really flew under a lot of people's radar. I think the Flyers make this deal to particularly get this player who apparently back in 2012 said the Flyers are shit. on his Twitter. Now he has a Flyer, but that was just in lieu of certain ongoings going on during that time period. I think that was when Laviolette was let go.
Yeah, it was 2013 when he made that comment.
Yeah, it was 13.
It was around that time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they didn't make the playoffs in 2013, so the Flyers were shit. So I kind of agree with you on that one.
Ooh. Very fast player. He won the 30-meter fastest skater competition, both with and without the puck on the CHL level.
I think that would be the major tipping point of why we would trade up for him, because if there's one thing the Flyers want to get more of, it's speed.
Can I call him Killer Frost?
Sure. Go right ahead. I'll call him Jack Frost.
I got that.
I feel like that might be copyrighted, though.
It might be. Well, let's call him
But
Jack
yeah,
Frost.
I totally got the reference. I love it.
Or Frosty the Snowman, whatever we want to call him. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun.
The thing I like about this kid is
buddy.
he's smart, he's steady, he's very instinctive in his own zone. Strong work ethic, great hands, and this is something the Flyers weren't very good at, and he's apparently very good at it, is getting to loose pucks.
I mean, well, looking at his stats with the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds, 67 games played. He's got 20 goals, 42 assists, 62 points from his last season. That's not bad. Not bad at all for a guy who got picked lower in the first round. And think about this. Last time we traded for a lower round pick, we got Travis Konechny out of it. Yep. So maybe Hexy's seeing something we ain't seeing that, could turn out to be beneficial immediately.
And by all accounts, it sounds like this is a very similar type player. Stands at 5'11" tall, 172 pounds. Not going to overpower anybody on the ice, but it's that finesse and elusiveness, to Brian's point, that's going to allow him to get to the puck first and really feed the point on that. I think what he'll need to do is add significant strength before he's ready to be deemed for the pro game. And I think that the key adjustments he'll have to make is on the defensive side of the puck as he eventually completes, or competes against, grown men.
I mean, despite his size, he's still not afraid to take the body and use his body to make plays. So, sure. I mean, he might need to add a little bit of weight, but that strength, I'm sure, is already there.
Well, I mean, we'll see what happens moving forward with Morgan Frost. Hopefully he could turn out to be good, because that would be awesome to have a guy named Frost on the team. That'd be cool. Moving on.
Roscoe goes Thornton to the Ducks as third-line centerman.
No, as much as I would love that, that's not happening. Come on now.
Could you imagine that? Joe Thornton on in an enemy jersey for
that's too
so
much.
many years on the San Jose Sharks, and now he puts on a Ducks jersey.
You're not going to pay him that much money to be a third-line center. Come on, man. I love the idea. I really do, but no.
The Cubs will be perennial Cup contenders then. You go get Joe Thornton.
They already are, but they just can't get over the hump.
Well, the Western Conference hump now. Now watch them go on for a few years where they can't get out of the Western Conference Finals.
I will say this, though, David. The center position is something that the Ducks don't need to worry about. You have Kessler, Getzlaf, Vermette, and Wagner. And then you have Sam Steele getting ready to come up soon. We're pretty solid at center.
All right, well, moving on. Speaking of, well, he's not a centerman. But anyway, speaking of left wing, which we weren't talking about, we go to the Flyers' next choice and their next pick, which was round 2 at pick 35, Mr. Isaac Ratcliffe, who is a left winger. And what I like is playing for the Gulf Storm in the OHL. He has 67 games played, 28 goals, 26 assists for 54 points. That's not bad on the offensive stats at all, and at a left wing. I really very much like that pick because if there's anything the Flyers need, it's wingers. So I'm very happy with that.
Not even just a winger. He's a power forward. Very tough forechecker. Good feet for big man. Toughness, active stick. He has a really good release on a shot. Goes to the front of the net without hesitation. He's another player like why am I blanking on his name? Nolan Patrick. He's good in the cycle.
Good. And the best part is, what I love is, he already says, I'm just unbelievably proud to say I'm a Philadelphia Flyer now. That's what I'm talking about. There's the spirit. Already he loves it. Good, 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 good. Now, moving on, the Flyers on their next pick, round number 3, as we're getting into the latter rounds here. At pick number 80, Kirill Ustimenko.
Easy for you to say.
That's an interesting name. I like it.
The Ustimenko part, yeah. Kirill?
Kirill. Kirill. We'll go with Kirill since it's an I.
Kirill Ustimenko.
Kirill
That sounds about right.
Ustimenko.
Is he Czech?
He is actually Belarus. He is from that country that has produced maybe one NHL player out of its entirety in its history.
It's funny. Where I am is saying he is Russian.
Moran?
Huh?
Did you say Moran said he's
No,
Russian?
No, I said where I am. It
Oh.
says he's Russian.
Well, Belarus is.
His amateur team was St. Petersburg Dynamo.
Well, St. Petersburg Dynamo, I mean, a lot of the Belarus and Russia really share their teams. There's one Belarusian team in the KHL, so they kind of share their system.
Yeah, Belarus right between Poland and Russia. So.
Well, yeah, I know that. That's kind of probably why. Never mind.
I had to look it up. Geography's not my bag, baby.
I mean, there's not really any stats on him from what I got. So, I mean, we'll see how he turns out. He's a third rounder, so this is where you start getting to those picks that are relatively either going to be something, at least a minor something, or a nothing. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah. It says that he's a good athlete, great agility, great flexibility. Tracks well and never gives up on shots, which is something that the Flyers
Would
need
like
in their goaltending. But his biggest flaw right now is they say he's a very thin player. He needs to add weight in order to anchor himself.
All right, then. Moving on to round 4, number 106. Now, this was one you were talking about, Daily, off mic, and that was Mr. Matthew Strome at pick number 106, who is related to both Dylan and Ryan Strome.
The youngest of the Strome brothers. Different. They say he's a different type of player from his brother. Dylan and Ryan are more skilled players. Matthew's more of a physical player. Uses his big body to create scoring chances. He likes to work the corners. Possesses a quick release on a shot, and when he carries in, displays a lot of patience. Has a high hockey IQ, but his downfall is his below average foot speed, which means he's a slow skater. He has a pitiful off-the-mark acceleration, which is something that he'll need to develop it, and he has no shot at making this roster off a training camp if he even goes to training camp.
Yeah, that's the fact that he can't skate is that's the automatic thing that would pretty much say, yeah, he ain't gonna be on this team.
Enough on this team like that. So.
Yeah. I mean, his stats aren't bad though. At 66 games, he's got 34 goals, 28 assists for 62 points. I mean, not bad. But then again, the year before that on the Hamilton Bulldogs in the OHL, he was a -8.
I was about to say these were OHL numbers.
Yeah.
Slightly skewed.
Slightly skewed, yeah. So, I mean, not bad on the offense, but a little skewed. And also, we got to take into account a few things here or there with that speed. All right, moving on. Round 4 again, 107. And the Flyers pick Maxim Sushko. And let's take a look and see what Maxim Sushko
Art
is.
Shimko?
Yeah, you would think about it.
I know that
Hey,
dude.
Art, what's going on, buddy?
He's another one. He's another power forward. Great hands, quick moves, ability to change direction and beat defenders one-on-one. Terrific on the power play when he sets up on the half wall. Likes to make plays, and he goes to the front of the net without hesitation.
All right, then. Not a whole lot of major stats here with the Owen Sound Attack, who he's got 1 year with. He's got 54 games, 18 goals, 14 assists for 32 points. Not bad, plus 10. Playoff stats are not bad either. 17 games played. He's got 3 goals, 8 assists, 11 points, 10 penalty minutes. That's not bad. So, I mean, not bad stats at all coming from the junior league. So,
Not even a little bit.
yeah, he's a right winger, which is a plus. He's also from Belarus, too. So, a lot of Belarusians here getting picked by the Flyers this year. So, interesting. Also, he does have a hockey name in Sushko. So, we should try and see if we can become that. See if we can get him.
Sure.
Moving on, round 5, pick number 137. That'll be Noah Cates.
BB Cates?
Apparently.
Oh, man, I love that red bikini.
Let's take
I
a
just loved her.
Oh, yeah. She's married to Kevin Kline.
I don't know,
I did not
but
know
I
that.
am very envious of whoever married her.
That's right.
Loved her in Goonies, Gremlins.
Gremlins.
Sorry, we're totally getting off topic here.
I know. I don't blame you guys. I don't blame you at all. But either way, his stats aren't all that promising in the UCHL for the Omaha Lancers. 11 games, 2 goals, 5 assists, 7 points. Only got 11 games, -3.
Yeah, they drafted him out of
yeah.
high school, though, still in the Stillwater area
Yeah.
of Minnesota. So he still has a lot of growing to do.
He does. We'll see. That's a we'll see. We'll see about him. Round 6, pick 168, Oli Lyksil. I like that name, Lyksil. We'll see what his stats are in just a quick second. Probably another one of those ladder players that, we'll have to really see what he's going to be in the near future. Because once you start drafting in these latter rounds,
AKA never sees the light of day in the NHL.
yeah, we'll see.
You never know,
They're
though.
like what I like to call the career AHLers.
Yes.
Yes. Well, the Phantom's got to have some players. Can't all be Flyers, right?
He's a spot monkey.
Yes, he is. Moving on, go to another, this time into the 7th round, which is the last round. This is where mostly you pick your goalies at. And at the 196th pick, they picked Wyatt Galnuk. So
Goaltender?
I will take a look and see what he
Defenseman.
is. He's a defenseman?
Oh, good.
He's a defenseman that apparently shows great poise, vision. His biggest strength, though, is his skating ability and his ability to explode on defenders. He can pivot on a dime and cross over effortlessly. So his biggest asset is he's a really, really good skater.
Well, that's fine.
That's useful.
Nothing wrong with being a good skater.
No, not at all.
Nothing wrong with all. But we'll see as he develops for it, because these are the latter picks, so these guys are still got a long time before they're even looked at remotely for the NHL.
Sure, though. But with that skill, man, that puts him up the ranks a little bit.
Certainly does, even among getting picked late. But still, with all that being said, Flyers moving on, we talk about the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Since we're going to take a break, and I know this is the time where Mr. Brian Daly can finally flap those wings. I know he's been having to wait and keep them retracted for the better part of the show.
It was only a matter of time.
It was only a matter of time. Yes, as the 4 men who have been tapped on the shoulder to join immortality, it is Mr. Teemu Selanne,
Yes.
Mr. Dave Andrechuk,
Yes.
Mr. Mark Recchi,
Yes.
and Mr. Paul Correa.
The reason I got into hockey.
I think that's
Well
awesome,
deserved.
though. Yeah, I think that's awesome, though, them going in together.
I think
Yeah.
maybe that was their plan and why he didn't get selected last year as Paul Curry, because he was eligible last year too. Maybe you put, and I know I'm going to get a lot of shit for this. My opinion, the best dynamic duo in hockey together.
I don't know if you'll get shit for it, but everybody's got their dynamic duo. That they think
people
is,
think maybe McGillney, Messier better, Yager and Lemieux better. To me, there was no
Gretzky,
better duo
Curry,
than.
there's a lot.
Well, right, there's a lot.
Lindros Leclerc.
That was a good one too.
To
me, there's no better than Selanne and Correa.
that's
I'll actually agree with you, man. I will.
that's a great duo, though. But it's a skewed one for Mr. Daly, as he is a Ducks fan.
I know it's coming from
totally
a-
Homer.
Yeah,
Totally
that's
Homer
a complete
opinion.
Homer move right there. But
That's
still.
why I had to further substantiate as a non-Ducks fan that
Yeah, that was the duo that got me into hockey.
It's
I
a
love
good
it.
duo. It's a good duo. It's a great duo to get you into hockey. Absolutely no problem.
I posted a picture on Facebook last night of my career jersey next to my Selanne jersey, saying, "Oh, look at that
I saw that.
pair of Hall of Famers."
Were they Mighty Ducks jerseys?
One was
Nah.
my career jersey was
Yeah. You waited.
is.
Yeah, you waited until they became the Anaheim Ducks to get the Selanne one. Wanted to brush off
Actually,
that Mighty
technically-
Ducks. You don't want to be Gordon Bombay's long-lost cousin.
Technically, I got this Selanne jersey first.
So the Paul Correa was a retro jersey.
It is.
It's
It's got the 2003 Stanley Cup patch on it too.
Nice. That's a good one. That's a good one to get. Always cool to get the Stanley Cup patch one.
Should really look into getting a Teemu Selanne Mighty Ducks jersey though.
No, get a Brizgalov one. You'll be set. All right, moving on.
You're just mad because you played better for the Ducks.
Still, whoop-de-doo. It wasn't like he won you the cup. It was Jaguar who did. So
No, but he still won a cup as a Duck.
yeah, because he sat on his ass on the bench where he belongs.
Don't matter.
But anyway.
I'll take a nap, guys. Let me know when you're done.
His name. His name's on the cup.
Yeah, okay, spectacular. So's any other backup goalie. All right, congratulations. It's not like Fleury where he won one, had a hand in winning another one, and he sat his ass on the bench for the other one. If you could pull that off, that's amazing. But anyway.
Somebody sounds a little bitter.
What, at Briz?
Yeah.
Nah, we didn't really. Briz is gone, so I'm happy with that. Okay. Briz cannot bother us no more. Moving on. All right, and Dave Andrechuk and Mark Recchi, both of you deserve your congratulations for, and of course Mark Recchi, always near and dear to our hearts, being a former Philadelphia Flyer, and just he was part of some really great teams back in the day.
All four gentlemen deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Agreed.
All four having won a Stanley Cup. Recchi has 3 to his name. Actually, no, Paul Correa did not win one.
No,
Teemu Selanne did.
not.
Timu did. He won one with the Ducks, so he stayed loyal to that team. Andrechuk won one with the Lightning, and Recchi won 3. One with the Penguins, one with the Hurricanes, and one with the Bruins.
Solani should go in as a Winnipeg Jet.
I'll tell you what. It wouldn't surprise me if he did.
No, he'll be remembered as a Duck.
Of course.
He'll be remembered as a Duck, but Korea will go in as a Predator. But
Not.
That would break my heart.
all right,
It won't happen, but
all right, we
that would break my heart.
gotta go to break. We gotta go to break. Let's stop picking on Brian for the moment. We'll pick on him on the other side.
I was gonna say, just wait till we come back. Pick on
Yeah,
me some more.
And we'll get into their achievements and more as we'll get into that on the other side. But first, I want to talk to you guys about none other than wow. Where's
you
my
run out
reads?
of reads again.
I ran out of reads. All right.
It's a good thing.
There we go. Back to Liberty Event Rentals. We'll go with that. Why not? They're for all your party needs. And guess what? July 4th is next week. And remember, if you got something planned, you need tables, chairs, tent, linens. You need all of that stuff. Liberty Event Rentals are the guys who can do it for you. They will take it to your location, set it up, and take it back for you as well. They're located at 2154 East Cambria Street in Philadelphia, PA. You can give them a call, 267-314-7368. Or you can visit them on the web at www.libertyeventrentals.com. This is the Hockey Happy Hour on A2DRadio.com. We are Brizzless, and we will remain Brizzless on the other side. A2DRadio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located at 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
Hey, do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
You're listening to the Hockey Happy Hour, only on A2DRadio.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hockey Happy Hour live from the BMW Atlantic City Studios here in Manny from New Jersey. We are brought to you by Scanzano Sports Center, located in 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. And we were talking about the Hall of Fame and the gentlemen who were elected to the Hall of Fame. And we might as well get started in saying why they were elected to the Hall of Fame. I mean, obviously, if you're a hockey fan, you already know this. But for those who are not hockey buffs out there, who may have just gotten into hockey or just don't know the history, we'll get into it. So, we'll get started with Mr. Mark Recchi and the records he holds, and there are some odd ones. He is the second longest span between Stanley Cup wins, from 1991 all the way to 2006. That's 15 years.
Wow.
That's what happens when you win one as a rookie. So,
Is that with the Bruins?
No. That was with the Hurricanes.
With the Hurricane.
Yeah.
Right.
With a former fellow Flyer, Rod Brendamore, on the team.
And Laviolette, right?
Yeah, Lavi was the coach, who was eventually would become the Flyers coach. Moving on. His 123 points with 53 goals and 70 assists in the 1992-1993 season with the Flyers regular season is a scoring record, and it still stands today. Good luck trying to break that one. I dare you to.
Not in this NHL.
No. Oldest player to record 5 assists in a game on March 1st in 2009. He was 41 years old. Moving on, 13th player in NHL history to score 1,500 points during his career. Lucky number 13. Oldest player to score a Stanley Cup Finals goal on June 6, 2011 at 43 years old.
That was with the Bruins.
And moving on, third oldest player to win the Stanley Cup after Chris Chelios, who was 46 years old when he won his, and Lester Patrick, who was 44. And on to one of only 11 players to win a Stanley Cup with 3 different teams, and he is the 8th player to win a Stanley Cup in 3 different decades. 1991, 2006, 2011.
Why couldn't any of those bid with the Flyers?
I know. It sucks, doesn't it?
Yes.
Isn't he 5th all-time in scoring, too?
I believe so.
I believe that's a stat I heard.
I think. Well, he probably got bumped down one. Or no, he might have because Yager moved up. But that, not sure.
Like 5th or something like that.
But anyway, moving on. Next up, let's go to Dave Andreychuk, since he has no correlation with anybody here.
Yeah, save the best for last.
The record, yeah, a matter of opinion. Anyway, moving on. Records and achievements. He has the 6th most games played in the NHL history with 1,639. He's the 14th most goals scored in NHL history with 640. He's tied with Dennis Savard for 28th in the league history with 1,338 points, holds the record for the most NHL career power play goals with 274. He was 1991-92 NHL power play goals leader with 28 and 92-93 with 32. Played in an NHL All-Star game in 90 and 94, Stanley Cup champion in 04, and now he's going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Boy, Andrew Chuck actually had some pretty damn good stats going into
600 goals, almost 700 assists. Absolutely.
All right, and now on to Mr. Paul Kariya, whose stats are mostly in the NHL. He was the All-Rookie in 95, first All-Star team in 96, 97, 99, second All-Star team 2000 and 2003, won the Lady Byng in 96, 97, was NHL All-Star game in 96, 97, 99, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, and he was the skilled competition puck control champion in 1999, 2000, 2001, 2002. Not a whole lot of stats holding, though.
Keep in mind his career was cut short, but
This is true.
He ended his career with 989 career games played.
However, he does hold 4 Anaheim Ducks records. He holds most overtime goals, highest plus-minus, most shots, and longest tenured captain. He holds 2 Nashville Predators records, most assists and most points. Really? Wow. In a single season. Okay, I was going to say, no way did he hold more than Ilya Kovalchuk in that, but still. And most puck control relay wins in there in the skills competition.
He was definitely one of the better Nashville Predators to date. But Paul Kariya was amazing. It's a shame his career got cut short. He averaged a point a game in his career, and it would have been more if he didn't have to retire at 34 years old.
True. Very, very true. Thank you, Scott Stevens. Anyway.
It's not Scott Stevens' fault.
I'm going to blame him for everything. I'm blaming him for everything. Just live with it. You don't even like him anyway. So, moving on.
I never said I didn't respect him, though.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, on to Teemu Selanne. Let's get to this.
The real great 8, not Alexander Ovechkin.
I will agree. All right, on to that. He holds the record for most goals by a rookie at 76. And in case anybody's wondering, the only reason why Gretzky does not hold that record is because Gretzky played in the WHA his rookie year. So that does not count to the NHL. Moving on. Record for most points by a rookie, 132, same year. NHL record for most goals by a Finnish-born player at 684. He also has a Arizona-Winnipeg record for goals in a single season at 76 and points at 132, and as well as 9 in consecutive games for goals. He holds several Anaheim records. So let's see here. 457 for most goals in a career, 52 in a single season, 531 assists for career, 988 for career points, and also along with that for single season in points, 109 in 96 and 97. He also has the most power play goals career at 182, most assists in career 224, most power play points in career at 402, and he also has Anaheim's franchise record for most games played in 966, and Anaheim's franchise record most hat tricks at 13, also consecutive games with a goal in 11, and franchise record for the most assists in a single game with 5 3 times, and most points in Olympic competition with 43.
I mean, this can go on and on. I mean, I remember the biggest thing I remember from Teemu Selanne, Brian and Matt, is that putting up 76 goals in his rookie year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, that was just unheard of. That was like McGuire when he hit 49, on a baseball equivalent.
Yep, I remember.
Yeah, and of course he was a Stanley Cup champion in 2007 with the Anaheim Ducks. So
A lot of people thought he was going to retire after that.
yeah, you know what the funny part is? I was a little surprised he didn't. But you know what? He still had plenty of years left because he actually put up some really good numbers even after the fact. So
Yeah, he wound up retiring about 2 years ago, and he fell 16 goals shy of 700.
So, yeah, I mean, he had an unbelievable career for Teemu Selanne. He was definitely going to be the, I would say, the highlight player of this year's inductees out of all 4 of them. It just like an amazing stat. I don't think He's the benchmark for Finnish players. If you want to be something from Finland and be in the NHL, you have to hit the Teemu Selanne standard. You know?
Not even just as a hockey player, but as a person too, because he was a person that cared about the fans and the community, and he still does.
Yeah. And he'll always be remembered, in my opinion, he will always be remembered as an Anaheim Duck. I can't picture him. Yes, he played for the Jets and he played for the Coyotes, but really his career and his heart lays in Anaheim. It really does. Even winning the Cup there just signifies it.
Agreed.
So there's that. But debate, though, what would Recchi go in as? I would like to say Flyer.
Flyer.
Personally. I honestly think Flyer when it gets down to it for me.
I think it's going to be Penguins, unfortunately.
Penguin?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. All right. Well, that is what it is.
We'll
So-
say hopefully
yeah.
not. Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. Hopefully he'll be remembered as a Flyer more often than not. But anyway, with all that being said, folks, that will do it for this edition of the Hockey Happy Hour.
Oh, congrats, Bobrovsky, Vezina.
Yes, congratulations. We should have never have traded you. All right. Now that one I'm bitter about. Let's get this right. That I'm bitter about. Anyway, that will do it for this edition of the Hockey Happy Hour. It's time for last call from all of us here on A2DRadio.com. I am Matt Sensudi. That's the broken one, Rob Povia. And that's the Darkwing, Brian Daly, who flapped his duck wings, and he's very, very happy about it. He flew his V very, very happily. That'll do it for today. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you all next week on A2DRadio.com with more off-season news, bulletins, acquisitions, and departures here on A2DRadio.com.